Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is an English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat MAULANA QAMAR Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Thursday, the 16th of Sha'ban 1444, corresponding with the English date 9th of March 2023. Hazrat Wala is saying this kitab before me is the kitab of Ibn Ata Iskandari. Hazrat Shaykh al-Hadith used to read out this kitab also in his Majlis. The tarjuma of this kitab was carried out by Hazrat Maulana Ashraf Ali Tanwi. When he went to his Sheikh, Hazrat Haji Imdadullah, he said to him, Ashraf Ali, translate this kitab, it will be of great benefit to the people. So here, we're reading from this kitab. فَنَادَى فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ أَلَّا إِلَهَ إِلَّا أَنْتَ سُبْحَانَكَ. But he cried through the darkness, saying, La ilaha illa anta. None has the right to be worshipped but you, O Allah. Subhanaka. Glorified are you, meaning exalted are you, meaning above all that evil that they associate with you. Subhanaka. Inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Truly I have been of the wrongdoers. Hazrat Wala is saying that this kalima, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib used to make talqeen of it, give gentle instruction towards the recitation of this wird and this wazifa abundantly towards the end of his life. Together with that also he used to stress abundantly on carrying out the Sayyidul Istighfar. Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Sahib, from the very start, he was always emphasizing on La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. Rather, those who used to sit, come there to make his khidmat, etc. at night. Hazrat Maulana Muhammad Ahmad Sahib used to tell them, come, get up. I want you people to recite 300 times. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu min al-zalimin. You people have arrived today and come, and I'm thinking, what will I speak about today? So I said, let me speak on this topic. So we're speaking about darkness, and in darkness, a person becomes anxious and he becomes worried. So Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam did not ask from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala directly at that time of difficulty. However, he praised Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he acknowledged his weakness in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he displayed helplessness in the court of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala categorized that as him seeking for salvation. Allahu Akbar. Musa alayhi salatu wassalam, so and nevertheless, let's just complete with that then. So Allah Ta'ala then thereafter goes on to say, فَاسْتَجَبْنَا لَهُ وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ مِنَ الْغَمِّ. Allah Ta'ala says, so we answered his call and delivered him from the distress. And thus, we do deliver the believers, meaning they believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and they abstain from evil and they work on righteousness. We will do this. Our promise is that we will also deliver the believers from the difficulties and distress that they are in, just like how we delivered Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam. So Allah Ta'ala, Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam didn't even ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for anything. He praised Allah. There was tawheed there was glorification of Allah, and there was acknowledgement of weakness. And Allah Ta'ala said, so we answered to his call. So Allah Ta'ala made that categorized that statement of Yunus alayhi salatu wasalam as him asking for deliverance from that problem that he was in. Also, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam, when he done good to the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam, and he did not intend any reward from them at all, neither did he request for something in exchange for the kindness that he showed to them. Rather, after he watered their animals and filled their buckets for them, what did he do? أَقْبَلَ عَلَىٰ رَبِّهِ, he turned to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he asked from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He did not ask from them too. He asked from their Rabb, that whenever he is asked, he gives. Whenever he is asked, he gives. Thereafter, Hazrat Tanvi then goes on. In the Kitab it is written, وَالصُّوفِي مَنْ يُوَفَّى مِنْ نَفْسِهِ وَلَا يَسْتَوْفَى لَهَا وَلَنَا فِي هَذَا الْمَعْنَى. Nevertheless, they quote that they saying that who is the true Sufi? The true Sufi is the one who does not demand his own rights, rather he fulfills the rights of others. Allahu Akbar. So Musa alayhi salatu wasalam done what he had to do, and he did not ask from them. Therefore, from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he was blessed with al-jaza'ul akmal, a complete reward, a complete and a total reward. So we just spoke about that La ilaha illa anta subhanak. It is for that reason that our Buzrugane-e-Din used to tell the people to make wird and to repeat abundantly this particular kalima. You know, I spoke so much about this kitab. When I went to the other madrasas also, I said to them the words which Hazrat Haji Imdadullah said to Hazrat Tanvi. He said to him, Ashraf Ali, translate this kitab. Now how come? Why would he tell him to do that? Because he understood the capacity that he enjoyed, the capability that he had. And this is what you people need to do for your students in the madrasas. You need to bring such a type of a caliber in a student so that they can also, when need be or when demanded of them to translate anything from one language to another, they are capable of doing it. So here, Musa alayhi salatu wasalam just done one neki, one hasana, one good. And what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless him with? So much he was blessed with. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him in this dunya, that is over and above what he has in store for him in the akhirat. And meaning that he wedded him to one of the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam, and he made him go into the family of his Nabi Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam. This was the kind favor of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him acquainted with all of this here until the time of his risalat and prophethood had come. Therefore, O servant of Allah, do not put your matter or let it not be with anyone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if you do this, you will become from those people who always are profitable. They go home with a profit. Their transaction is always successful. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala then will honor you in the way that He honors His pious servants. Look at the ayat in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَسَقَى لَهُمَا ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ. So he watered their flocks for them. Then he turned back to the shade. ثُمَّ تَوَلَّى إِلَى الظِّلِّ. He turned back, he returned to the shade. So in this year, there is a proof and a point that we take out here that it is most definitely permissible, rather recommended for a believer, that he gives preference to the shade over the sun, to cold water over hot water, meaning to drink, and to the easier of the two paths over the more difficult one of them, and the more suitable of the paths. And this, all of this here, choosing the easier path and whatever there is convenience in, will not take a person out of the station and the great stage of zuhd and abstinence. Do you not see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs Musa alayhi salatu wasalam about Musa alayhi salatu wasalam? He informs us that Musa alayhi salatu wasalam then turned his back. Musa alayhi salatu wasalam turned back to the shade after he done his act of kindness to the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam. He turned back to the shade. He turned back to the shade, meaning he intended it and he went in that direction. Now, if somebody had to say to you and bring up this type of an argument and a debate about a person, that he entered upon him and then he finds the sun striking at those earthen pots in which they would drink water from. So he said to this person, or it was said to him, that why did you do this? I mean, why will you put it in the sun? And then the person says to him, listen, when I put it there and I placed it there, there was no sun at that time. And now presently, I don't want to take it out of the sun and put it in the shade, because I would not want to walk in the direction of doing such a deed which has a portion for my nafs and for my ego. Now, understand well. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have mercy on you. This is the condition, should be the condition of a person who wants honesty and sincerity for himself. So here the right thing for him to do was not to debate that type of thing there, and he should have looked for convenience and ease for him, for himself, because all of this here is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wishes for his servants. Allah Ta'ala says, يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ بِكُمُ الْيُسْرَ وَلَا يُرِيدُ بِكُمُ الْعُسْرَ. Allah Ta'ala intends ease with you, and he does not intend difficulty. يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ أَن يُخَفِّفَ عَنْكُمْ وَخُلِقَ الْإِنسَانُ ضَعِيفًا. Therefore, according to the fuqaha, if a person takes an oath that he will walk to Makkah, may Allah increase it in honor and nobility, that's Makkah Mukarramah. So a person takes an oath that he will walk to Makkah barefoot. Then for this person here, it will most definitely be permissible for him to wear his shoes and go. And it will not be necessary for him to go barefoot. Why? Because the Shariat doesn't intend for any person to tire himself intentionally. And the Shariat has not come so that a person can be deprived of ease and luxuries. Rather, a person has been created for that. Allah has created everything around him for him, so that he can use it at ease and in peace, so that he can work towards his akhirat. Rabi' ibn Ziyad al-Harithi said to Ali radiallahu ta'ala an, why don't you help me regarding my brother Asim? So Ali radiallahu ta'ala an then said, what's the problem? So the brother then answers and he says that what to do? He has wrapped himself in a blanket and he intends poverty. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala an then says, bring him to me. Nevertheless, he was brought, and what was it about? He actually had two blankets there. One that he wrapped himself in and covering his body, and the other one he was throwing it over himself. Two sets of blankets there. His hair was completely unkept, disheveled. At that time, Ali radiallahu ta'ala an frowned at him openly, directly to him, and he said to him, Wayhak, what's the matter with you? How sad and sorrowful to see you in the state. Amastahyayta min ahlik, don't you feel ashamed that you will meet your wife like this? Ama rahimta waladak, don't you even have any type of mercy in your heart for your children? Have you not understood that Allah Ta'ala has made permissible for you the tayyibat, the wholesome things, and He dislikes, and you dislike to take from it anything. Allah has made it permissible for you, but you don't want to take from Him. You are so insignificant in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is being kind to you. Have you not heard what Allah has said in His kalam? وَالْأَرْضَ وَضَعَهَا لِلْأَنَامِ. This earth, we have kept it here, we have put it here, we have spread it out for insan, for him. And so many other ayats like يَخْرُجُ مِنْهُمَا اللُّؤْلُؤُ وَالْمَرْجَانِ, from the great precious treasures and gems that come from the ocean. So, do you not understand that Allah Ta'ala has made permissible for His servants so that they can use it? And when they use it, they will praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when they praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He will reward them for it. So when you use the ni'mats of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this will be better for you. Nevertheless, in all of this year, Asim, the person who is being reprimanded, says to Ali radiallahu ta'ala in turn that, okay, I'm like that, but what's your problem then? You are also wearing coarse clothes, you are also eating simple foods. So I am also treading your path. So Ali radiallahu ta'ala then clarified the matter and he said that Inna Allah farada ala a'immatil haqq. Allah Ta'ala has made it incumbent upon the rulers of the time that they simplify themselves according to the level of the people. They live according to the level of the people. Allahu Akbar. So this kitab is such a wonderful kitab. Here we reading this, we read about the incident of Musa alayhi salatu wasalam and what that one neki of sharing the pain and the difficulty that the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salatu wasalam were going through. Just that type of a sympathy due to which it brought some harakat in him that he helped them and assisted them, brought such great results and goodness for Musa alayhi salatu wassalam. Hazrat Wala even quotes from the past people that there was a loose woman who gave a dog water to drink, due to which upon that amal she was forgiven. Allahu Akbar. Hazrat Haji Imdadullah used to say to Hazrat Tanvi Ashraf Ali, Tanda pani piyo, taake har bune muh se hamd nikle. Ashraf Ali, drink cold water so that from every point, rather if you want to say it in its fullest way, so that from every hair that's standing on your body, shukr and hamd of Allah can be echoed. You know, on a hot, sweltering day, a person has this cold glass of water, and what type of a satisfaction and relief comes to his body, and how the Alhamdulillah comes out from the heart. Gee, exactly that. A person was walking out of my kutubkhana with this kitab, and I asked him, because he's here and he takes kitabs, he reads and he returns it, and I asked him, what kitab do you have? And then when I seen the kitab in front of me, I realized what an amazing this kitab it is. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created vastness and ease in this path to Him. Allah ta'ala keep us on the straight path and give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making amal on these ta'limat. And without any reason, a person should not throw himself into a difficulty. And Allah ta'ala let us traverse, cross, walk this path with complete ease. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of making amal. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ بِحُرْمَةِ سَيِّدِ النَّبِيِّ الْكَرِيمِ صلى الله عليه وسلم.